this weekend?
Yeah, I think it's testament to the standards that are being set here this year, that we've come back from a road trip against the number 1 team and number 3 team in the conference, and Denver are just outside the top 50 in the nation with 2 ties, and we're not happy that we didn't come out with a win and a tie. I think that that's testament to the growth in this team, that we're disappointed that it's great, while it's great to be unbeaten against 2 of the top teams, that there wasn't at least 1 W in there. So I think that it's a good demonstration of the ascension within our team this year, and how hungry our players are to continue to climb a mountain towards a championship game. So good weekend overall when you look at picking up 2 games with some points on the road, for sure. I think that you can never complain too much about that, but definitely, we're still a little bit sour to an extent that, it wasn't a win and a tie. Going to Denver yesterday was really fun though. One of the top teams in the country, constantly beating some Power 5 teams and giving it a good game. Our back line had to have a good day at the time, but simultaneously we hit the crossbar twice. Their goalkeeper had to make an unbelievable save, and that's twice in a row now where we've given the best team in the conference a really good run for their money in 2 consecutive seasons and come out unbeaten. So we're at that point now where we are really looking at the top end of the Summit League and saying, is this where we now finally belong? And it's a kind of an exciting place to be, but we've still got to earn it on a week-to-week basis. Moving forward to this week, just a single game this weekend against the Bison. They also had an undefeated weekend in the Summit League play as well, so it's going to be a tough game. But we're really excited to be back at home where we've been really good this year, and we have a perfect record, and we're certainly hoping to protect that record on Sunday.
Where are you seeing the growth program-wise as you come away from a weekend like that?
I think that we can look at 2 things. One, historically, I look back at 2019 when we made the top 4 in the Summit League, and I felt as though while we deserved to be there, there was a couple of teams in that postseason play that were probably a little bit too far out of our reach. We'd lost by 7 to Denver earlier that year and 3 in the postseason. We're now at the point where against these top teams, we're getting results. So I think that shows the growth of the program over a period of time. But then within that, it's just the courage and the fight that our team has every single game now. The passion that they have and the ownership they have in their positions, that they just fight for each other, and we've got a great camaraderie. And when we have to go deep on the bench like we did yesterday, everybody steps up. So I think our depth is one key part of it, but it's within our culture, it's the passion and the fight that the team have for each other. It's pretty awesome, and we were well worthy of a result yesterday against one of the best teams in the country.
What's the key in the UND NDSU matchup? What is that one? Are you expecting it to come down to?
I think it comes down to individual battles. I think it's going to come down to individual battles, who comes out on top of their duels, so to speak, against your opposite number, and then who takes their opportunities. It'll probably be a fairly tight game, but whoever takes their opportunities is going to come out on top. We had a game against them 2 years ago, which was up here, and it was freezing cold, and there's a wind blowing towards 1 goal, and it was an even game, and they took their 2, and we didn't take ours. And then last year, we felt we took our opportunity, and unfortunately, it got called back for an offside, and so it finished as a 0-0. But it comes down to who just takes their moments in the game. But it will be a tight one. But we're in a good vein of form right now, and we feel as though we've got a good group.
Coach, over the weekend or this past road trip, we saw your defense really step up, especially in between the pipes. How important is it that you have a back line that can hold up against these teams that like to shoot the ball a lot?
Yeah, I mean, the back line does great. They defend the area around the goal really well, which means that we're a little bit more susceptible to teams shooting from a long way out, but we have phenomenal goalkeeping, phenomenal. So we give up some of those areas because we're so strong in net that we're going to say to teams, we're not giving you an easy shot from 10 yards. You might get a shot from 30, but we've got a goalkeeper that's going to cover that. So, there's a slight risk-reward system in there, but generally speaking, we're so strong defending our goal area, we give up those opportunities at times, but Grace is so strong in net that we're able to cover those.
All right, and then you've said it as well about, hey, we're very confident in the results that we got, especially with like Denver and that tie. What type of confidence does that build though for the roster? Because like you as coaches, you guys see this, growing, but for the roster, what's that mean to see that they come out like that?
Unreal. I mean, it's the first time in the history of the program that we haven't lost to a top 100 program, a top 100 team. So I think that's testament to where we're at right now. We have a really good, strong group that are starting to really believe in themselves the way that we believe in them. As we continue to get these results, the confidence is going to continue to grow. And I think that these last 2 games have set the standard now of we've arrived at that point, and anything less than that is below where we should be at. So getting 2 results against 2 teams on the road, and really we were 1 minute away from winning it all, Roberts. We're 1 minute away. So I think that shows that we're really at that point where we need to start thinking about being towards the top of the conference, because we are showing that we can compete with these teams.
All right, thanks.
With it being senior day, what does that mean to you for a coaching standpoint, watching all those seniors go out and play?
I'm hoping I'm not going to cry. What they've done, I mean, some of the things that these seniors have done for this program, and I'll go back to, we're in a position now where when we play Denver, we feel like we can go and get a result, and it's taken a long time to get to this point, but we're at a point where we play a top 100 team, we can get a result now. And that's testament to the growth we've had over the last 4 years that these seniors have really driven the bus with, that it doesn't matter who we play anymore, we can go out and we can compete. I would say that maybe a while ago, we couldn't have gone and played at North Carolina, who've won 22 national championships, without the fear of being embarrassed. This year, we went, and while we got beaten, we're in a position where we were competitive with them. And that's what these seniors have done. If they've put us in a position where we can play anybody in the country and at least give it a good go. And I think that's a fantastic place to be.
Do you think this game means a little bit more to them with it being senior night to get a win on that?
I think so. I think that the motivation for it being senior day certainly adds to it. I think from an athlete perspective, maybe it being the Bison does as well. For us as coaches, it's all about the Summit League and where we end up, and focusing on trying to be competing at the top with the Denvers and NDSUs. That's what our focus is on. But I think for the team, there's definitely an added impetus with it being NDSU.